Don't get stuck in a season that's already passed. I feel like it's so important as a neurodivergent person to understand the different seasons of your life. Because if you don't have a good understanding of what your seasons are, you will continue to live life very disconnected, forcing things onto yourself, onto others. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely have struggled with this before. It kind of just felt like nothing would ever really work out in the ways that I wanted it to. And it's all because I was working against my seasons rather than working with it. The thing is, I don't blame myself for making those mistakes. I think life has a tendency to teach us to equate stability with remaining in the same season for as long as we can. We have a tendency to associate changes and unfamiliarity as a threat to us and our livelihood, our happiness. And the sad thing is we apply that to ourselves without even becoming conscious of it. Every single time we find ourselves thinking, why doesn't anything ever just work out for me? Why is it that there's certain people out there that seemingly just goes with the flow and things just work out for them? And that's just not my story. Am I just meant to suffer for the rest of my life? Am I not meant to be happy? I know at many points in my life, I had those very thoughts myself. And I don't say that out of self-pity. I don't say that to gain pity from anyone else. It's just objectively, there were so many points in my life where I thought I was not meant to be happy. And life just, for whatever reason, doesn't work out for me. But you have to ask yourself, what makes you think that? Let's dissect that really quick. Do you think it's because we genuinely are unhappy with where we're at and with ourselves? Or do you think a big part of it is because we have no other way to orient our relationship with ourselves without using other people as a reference point to where we're supposed to be? Think about that. Are you using other people as a reference point for where you should be? And think about how unhappy you feel when you imagine where you lie compared to them. Now I want you guys to think about what it would be like to use yourself as a reference point. If you really allowed yourself to move with your seasons as it naturally happens, you will no longer feel like you're constantly swimming upstream. Because for once, you're allowing yourself to go with the flow, letting the current actually carry you, letting the direction actually lead you. You won't feel as lost. And that doesn't mean you don't have fears. I think that's a big part of the journey in developing trust in yourself, is that despite feeling those fears come up, despite not knowing how things are going to turn out, despite not having any sort of reference point as to what it would even look like for things to work out for you, you just go along with it and you let life show you what can happen for you when you actually tune in to your internal compass and let that internal compass synthesize with whatever season you're in. I feel like for a lot of us, getting stuck in a season could be very common, but I also think another really common experience is wanting to escape a season. How many of you guys got caught in a season of rest where even if you find yourself wanting to go out and expand upon yourself, learn new things, experience new things, it's almost like you got stuck in hibernation mode? And likewise, how many of you guys have been pushed into a season of deep shadow work and purging only for you to try to claw yourself out of it, telling yourself, I don't have time for this. I can't think about this. I can't process this. I can't unpack this. I can't figure out what this means to me without letting everything else in my life deflate and fall away. And I'm scared for that. What if I let it fall away? Will it be there when I'm ready to come back to it? What season do you guys get stuck in? What season do you guys find yourself consistently avoiding? I think it's important for us to be able to see the value in every season. And a lot of that comes down to surrender. Instead of forcing your will onto yourself and your own journey, you instead take a step back, quiet down, tune in and listen. Instead of telling yourself what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, tune into what feels right, what you feel called to do, what you feel drawn towards, regardless of if it makes sense to you. Because oftentimes it won't make sense to you. It won't make sense to you immediately. And sometimes it won't even make sense to you for a while. But just because something doesn't make sense doesn't mean it's not right. And just because something doesn't feel good doesn't mean it's not positively impacting you. Sometimes life is about discovering what works for you and actually tuning into it unapologetically, trusting that flow, trusting that process, and seeing where it takes you. There's going to be seasons of cultivation where you're meant to just plant, prepare, develop your inner resources. There's going to be seasons of purging where you're releasing what no longer serves you. You're shedding your outdated identities. And there's going to be seasons of integration where you're working to harmonize the new with the old. And there's going to be seasons of emergence where you're meant to just show up fully as yourself and you're living your truth outwardly, whatever that means to you. And the thing is, we're meant to just cycle through these seasons again and again and again. I think it's so harmful that we are associating coming back to a certain season as a failure, like we're regressing in a sense. Oh my God, I'm back here again where all these memories are coming up. I need to process it. I thought I was over it. I thought I dealt with this in therapy. I thought. And it's like, friend, you're just in the season of purging again. That's it. We need to stop associating cycling through seasons as a personal failure. Like the last time we were in that season, we didn't do good enough. We need to start seeing it as the natural way that us as humans need to live life. And honestly, so many other living organisms as well. Instead of trying to process it as a failure and why you've come back to it, welcome it like a friend. Oh, I'm here again. What am I being called to process this time? What am I being called to express this time? What am I being called to cultivate this time? What am I being called to integrate this time? And let me actually honor this cycle or this season that I'm in and surrender to it, work with it. And when you do that, look how much easier it is. And when I say easier, I'm not saying that you don't have to cry and you're not suffering. When I say easier, it means that there's flow. It means that whatever you're doing, it makes sense. You're able to learn more, understand more, integrate more, and you come out on the other end with even more embodiment, wisdom, rather than feeling even more confused and lost. You feel like every time you put energy and intention into something, it has a direct outcome, and that direct outcome makes sense to you and makes sense to that season and the journey that you're in that moment. You feel like you're constantly connecting deeper and deeper to yourself, and therefore you feel more connected to life, your practices, your rituals. You feel like you trust yourself. You trust your process and where you're going, even if you don't know where that is. You trust that even if life brings you into another unexpected direction, that is going to make sense to you, even if you don't know how to explain it at this time. But you trust that you will whenever that time comes. Move with life. Trust yourself. Become your own reference point. Know what your resources are, and know that you could draw upon those resources and those support systems whenever you need it, despite whatever season of life you're in. Give yourself the freedom to draw on those resources in different ways that you feel called to at different times. Give yourself the freedom to flow. Give yourself the freedom to expand, to grow, to evolve, to more deeply embody your authenticity. Your truth is going to look and sound different at different points of your life, and it's meant to be that way. It really is. Don't let that fear of change trick you into thinking that you've done something wrong. Because the reality is, it doesn't matter where you're at in life, what your circumstances are, what season you're in. When you make yourself the home, You could be doing anything. You could be anywhere and still feel safe. It's like a sea turtle. Whether or not they're on land or in the ocean, the shell is their home. They are their home. They're such a good symbol of what it means to be stable, but also constantly surrendering to the flow of life. Whatever season you're at right now, or whatever season you're on the precipice of, be ready to meet it, because it's ready to meet you. And I guarantee you, if you trust it and work with it, it will take good care of you. And when you're ready, the next season will be right there to welcome you in. Stay regulated, my friends. I'll see you guys next time.